Okay, so today we're doing solving combined like terms, but we're doing that in the context of perimeter, area, and some more problems. Okay, so getting to know you. Our question today is tell your partner two facts that you know about him or her. If you don't know anything, ask your partner to tell you two facts about him or her. Okay, and then our cube conversations. Play the slideshow here. So I wanted you to tell me how many cubes are in here and how you're grouping them and how you're seeing this in order to, and let me just give me a second here. Um, there you go. Okay, so let's see. I would probably, how would I group this? That's a tough one. Let's see, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I know there's 10 here. There's 10 here at the bottom here, right? So that's a group 10 and 10. And the sides is 1, 2, 3, 4. There's 6 here. And obviously there's 6 on that side, right? So I do 10, 10, 6, 6, and then these 3, and then that group of 3. And that's how I would group them. Is there a different way? I guess you can go 10 here and 10 here. You know, you could go 10 here and 10 here, and then 6 and the 6 and the 3. But I think it's, let's see how he has it. Yeah, oh yeah, I see the whole thing. Okay, oh, interesting. Okay. Oof. Let's see how we can group this. I see a group of 6. I see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Another group of 6 and a group of 4. So 6, 6, and a 4 is a 16. Oops, sorry. Plus 1 here, 17. Interesting. Let's see how we can group this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Well, there's a 10 over here and a 6 over here, right? We could have done that. Or you could have moved these 1, 2, 3 cubes over here, over here, over here. That still gives me 9, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then plus a 6, 15. All right, so interesting how you would 16 cubes. Okay, last one. Huh. So I see this as a 3 by 2 by 3. So it's a 3 times 2 is 6 times 3 is 18. And then I'm going to subtract 2. So I know this whole thing has 16 cubes. Plus 1 over here is 17. And then this is a 2 by 4 and 8. So 7, 15, 25. That's what I'm looking at. How else can I group this? Well, I can put, again, that one in the middle here and consider it a 3 by 2 by 3, which is a 3, 2, 6, 18, and then subtract only 1, that gives me 17, and group this as a 2 by 4, which is 8, and I still get 25. Alright, so different ways of grouping it. Let's see how. Well, alright. Okay, so back to now. So the perimeter of a rectangle is 108. The length is 12. What is the width? So I know that the perimeter here is, I'm calling this the length. I'm going to call this the length. Call this the width and the width. So if I add all these, I know it's going to give me 108. So this, they tell me this is guy's 12 and this guy's 12. So what is this missing number here? Right? So one thing we can do is add them up. So I get 12 plus 12 plus the width plus the width, and that should give me 108. Well, one way we can do this is subtract, right? So I can go 108 subtract 12, and that's going to give me 6. 10 minus 1 is 96, and then I subtract another 12, 4 and 84. So I know that these two sides left over is going to be 84. I can divide 84 divided by 2 and I get 42. So this is going to be 42 and 42. Now algebraically, and I'm going to continue this over here, I can combine these two and I get 24. W plus W is 2W equals 108. And I can subtract 24 from this side, subtract 24 from that side. These cross out, I get 2W equals 484 divided by 2 divided by 2, and W equals 42. So algebraically, that's how you really do it. But I don't know how many of you remember two-step equations, so if you do, great. If not, we're going to go over anyway. So here's a question. Mary spent $5M minus $12 and Sarah spent $3M minus $8. Just for a second, let's pretend she spent $10 and Sarah spent, I don't know, $3. How much did they spend altogether? Well, if you were going to do that based on 10 and 3, you would just add 10 plus 3. This is no different. So what I want you to do is add. So how much did Sarah spend? She spent 5 minus 12. I'm going to put that in parentheses because that's how much she spent. Plus, how much Sarah spent? She did spend 3M minus 8. Now, we're going to remove the parentheses, right? You can pretend there's a 1 here and a 1 here, and you end up getting 5N minus 12 plus 3M minus 8. If you combine like terms, you can combine this guy with this guy, and you get 8M. And negative 12 minus 8 equals negative 20. So how much they spent together? Well, it's this amount right here. Okay. Now, how much more did Mary spend than Sarah? So just by the question, we can know that Mary spent more. So let's say, again, she spent $10 and Sarah spent $3. What would you do? You would subtract, right? 10 minus 3, and she obviously spent $7 more. Well, this is no more different, but we're going to keep everybody in parentheses, and that's what the difference is going to be. Minus, and then 3M minus 8. You're going to notice a couple of things here. Well, we're going to put a 1 over here, so that becomes 5M minus 12. Negative 1 times 3M is negative 3M. And negative 1 times negative 8 is positive 8. When you combine like terms, 5M minus 3M is 2M. And negative 12 plus 8 is negative 4. And that's how much more she spent. So it's nice if you draw. So here's a rectangle. The length is 2y plus 11. The width is 4y minus 6. Find the perimeter. Well, to find the perimeter, what we do? Well, if I know this is that, I know this is this, and then I know this is this, yeah? To find the perimeter, we add all the sides, so let's do that. Plus, by the way. So now I have to remove the parentheses. 2i plus 1 plus 2i plus 1 plus 4y minus 6 plus 4y minus 6. And now you do what you've been doing all this time, which is combine like terms of this guy with this guy with this guy with this guy. So it's 2, 4, 8, 12y. They're all positive, so that's easy. And then positive 1 is positive 2, minus 6 is negative 4, and minus 6 again is negative 10. So that's the perimeter of my rectangle. Now this is a triangle. It's no different, right? Triangle has a little bit of decimals. This is 4.2k minus 4.1. This is 7.3k minus 9. Again, to find the perimeter, we just add all the sides, and we're going to plus 2.1. I'll put in parentheses plus 4.2k minus 4.1 plus 7.3k minus 9. And you can do that in your calculator pretty simply, right? So This one, again, let's draw it out. The length is 3a minus 2b. Find the width. So again, this is my question mark, and I know this is 3a minus 2b. So from the total, and I know the perimeter is 12a plus 6b minus 8. So from this total, I gotta subtract those two. So the length, I have the length, it's 3a minus 8, but I have two of them. I can add them, or I can simply multiply it by 2, right? Which would get me 6a, right, distributed property, minus 4b. Now I can subtract this amount from that. So the perimeter is 12a plus 6b minus 8, and I'm going to subtract 6a in parentheses minus 4b. So continuing, 12a plus 6b minus 8 will be minus 6a, right, because there's 1 here, and then a plus 4b. Combine like terms, I combine this guy with this guy, and I can get 6a plus 6b, and plus 4b is plus 10b minus 8. So the width, and I'm not done here, the width of the rectangle is this, right? But I remember I have to divide everybody by 2 because the total width, right, combined 2 width is 6a plus 10b. So if I divide 6a plus 10b minus 8, and I take all that and divide by 2, I'm going to get what? Half 3a plus 5b minus 4. Okay. So here we have a triangle. And one side is 4y plus 7. This one is 3m plus 5. And this one we don't know. But I know that if I add all that, the perimeter is going to be all those three sides added together. And then the perimeter is 9y minus 4m plus 6. So to find this third side, I'm going to have to subtract all three, right? So subtract these two from that. So I can do 9y minus 4m, which is a total perimeter. I'm going to subtract this side and this side, so minus 4y plus 7, then minus 3m plus 5. So I get 9y minus 4m plus 6 minus 4y minus 7 minus 3m minus 5. Remember, there's a 1 in here, and I'm going to distribute it properly. Now I can combine like terms, 9y and there's another y. 9y minus 4y is 5y. Negative 4m and negative 3m is negative 7m. 6 and negative 7 is negative 1, negative 1, negative 5 is negative 6. So the final answer is this. So the third side measures that much. Remember what triangle is. Area of a triangle is base times height divided by 2. So all we got to do is, so here we have a triangle. I don't know what the triangle looks like, but I know the base is 4, and the height, this height right here, is 8m plus 6. So area equals base, which is 4, times the height, and we'll put that in parentheses, plus 6 divided by 2. We can simplify before we multiply. I'm going to simplify. 2 goes into 2 once, and 2 goes into 4 2 times. Now I can do the distributive property, which is 16m. And then 2 times 6 is 12. And that's the area of my triangle. Rectangle. Alright, so this one is a little bit. So the base is 7, and the height is 3m minus 8k plus 10. So base times height. Right, so I'm going to do, so the area is going to be 7, this times 3m minus 8k plus 10. So the area is going to be distributed properly, 21m Positive and negative, 56k. And then 7 times 10, which is 7. And that's the area represented in this expression of this, what do you call it, rectangle. And that's it. This is your whiteboard section of the same topic. So this first section, I'm not sure, well, I'll do a couple here, but I'm not going to do all of them because you're proficient by now. You practice enough so that you don't need me here. Let me just pick and choose a couple. Pick this one. So it's truity properties happening here. So you get 8y. This just doesn't do anything right now. And then it's negative 6 and 8, 3 is negative 18y. Change colors. Negative 18y. Do it again. So 8y. Negative 18y. And then negative and negative is a positive 42. Can I combine anything? Yeah, I can combine these two guys right here. It's going to give me negative 10y, and then just that plus 42. That's easy, right? This one is easy, this one's easy, and now, let's see. Like I said, I don't want to do all of them. Forget it, I'll just do them. So we got 12r, and 11r, and then minus 4r. So 12r plus 11r minus 4r. And the other one I have 5s plus 9s, and then minus 7. There you go. So I can combine now, right? Super easy. 12 plus 11 is 23, minus 4 is 19r. 55s, sorry, this s, 5s plus 9s is plus 14s, and minus 17. Distributed property here. Negative times a positive is a negative. Negative times a negative is a positive 12b. That's it. Can I combine those two? This one has two distributed properties. So this is 2z plus 6. And in another color, I'm going to write 3 times 5, which is plus 15. And positive times a negative is a negative, negative 9z. Can I combine? Yes, I can combine these two. This guy was this guy. And it's going to be negative 7z. And then I can combine these two, which is positive 16 and positive 15, which is going to be plus 21. That was easy, just a little warm up. Oh, there's two more. 35. 5 times 15 is 15x minus 12. Can I combine? Yeah, I can combine. Combine this guy and then minus 12. So 35 minus 12 side by side plus 15x. That says 23 plus 15x. Right? Can combine. Wish my pen stopped doing that, but I can combine these two, get 23. This one, combine this guy with this guy. So, but the first thing I'm going to write is this guy. 4x cubed. Then I'm going to write plus, why is it not changing colors? Plus 8x squared minus 3x squared. Then I'm going to put blue minus 7x. And then this guy plus 9x. And then in purple minus 2. And then minus 4. All my like terms are next to each other. This guy comes down, it's the same, 4x cubed. These two becomes plus 5x squared. These two becomes plus 2x. And negative 2 and negative 4 becomes negative 6. Okay. Just a little review. Okay. So here you have bow mode, bob mode, 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 yards on Monday, this much on Tuesday, and this much on Wednesday. So how much did he mow in 3 days? Well, we're going to have to add these, right? Just 2x squared plus 5x minus 3 plus 4x minus 7 plus 3x squared plus 10. So we're adding all those. And I put parentheses there because we need to, the quantity is represented by everything in the parentheses. So if you want to put a 1 here, and I know it's kind of redundant, but you can eventually skip this step later if you know it's addition. So take everything out of parentheses, and if you do the distribute properly, right, because it's positive, everything comes out the same. So you end up writing the same expression without the parentheses. Plus 3x squared plus 10. Now I get to combine my terms. This guy with this guy. It's 5x squared. And then we have this guy, 5x plus 4x is 9x. And then negative 3 over here. Negative 10 is negative 10. And plus 10 is just 0. So this is my final answer. So this is how much he mowed in 3 days, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So the second part B says, that for the whole week he mowed how much? 14x squared plus 12x minus 3. So this is how much he mowed. This is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right? So, and this is Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So how much, the difference here is going to be how much he mowed on Thursday and Friday, right? Because if this is the whole week, this represents the whole week, and this represents 3 days, we can just subtract. So we're going to go 14x squared plus 12x minus 3, and we're going to subtract that value, which is 5x. And again, notice that I'm putting it in parentheses. If I don't put it in parentheses and I subtract, the only part that I'm subtracting is the 5x squared. But putting in parentheses, now I'm making sure I'm subtracting 5x squared plus 9x. This becomes 4x squared, 14x squared plus 12x minus 3, and then 10 is a 1. Let's remove the parentheses, so it's becoming negative 5x squared, and negative times a positive, negative 9x. So now I can combine my terms. This one with this one. 14x minus 5x is 9x squared. 12x minus 9x is plus 3x, and then minus 3. So this is how much he made for the rest of the week. Okay. So another thing you can do when you're doing these problems, just take time and just pretend, for example, I'm going to erase this and say Molly has $10, Ron has $3. How much money do they have together? Well, if I wanted to do that, I would do 10 plus 3, and that gives me 13. How much more money does Molly have? Well, if I want to know how much more money, I would do 10 minus 3, and you would tell me she has $7 more, right? Now, based on that, I want you to do the same thing, but with these two expressions. So how much money do they have all together? We're going to add. So Molly has this much. We're going to add to what Ron has. So we have 4x plus 10, right? So we're going to pretend 1 and do distribute properly. Pretend there's a 1 here. And because it's a positive times a positive, and it's likewise here, everything comes out the same. We're going to add their money. We're going to combine like terms. Combine this guy with this guy. It's going to give me negative 1x or negative x. And then 10 plus 20 is 30, right? These two combined. But then how much money do they have together? The expression would be this. Alright. Now, how much more money does Molly have than Ron? we're going to have to do subtraction, right? So we're going to do, I'll bring it over here, 4x plus 10 minus, this is what Molly has, subtract what Ron has, and then, well, let's do parentheses, right? Put a 1 over here. There's 4x plus 10 here. This one, but this one's a little bit different, right? Because it's negative 1 times positive gives me negative 20. Negative times a negative is going to be a positive plus 5x. Now I'm going to combine like terms. 4x and positive 5x, that's just 9x. And positive 10 and negative 20 is going to give me negative 20. So how much more money does she have? She has this much. 9x minus 10 more, then $10. 9x minus 10. So likewise, number 3. So I'm going to change this for a second. And I'm going to say Ronnie has 2 tickets. He's going to play today. He wants to buy a prize that is going to cost him, I don't know, 5 tickets. He needs 5 tickets to win. How many more tickets does he need to win? Well, he only has 2, I'm sorry. He needs 5, so 5 minus 2 means he needs 3 more tickets. Simple, right? No different. So he has this many tickets, and this is how much he needs. We're going to use the same concept here, which is subtraction. And we're going to go 15x plus 1, right? And then over here was a 1, so it's going to be negative and a positive, which is a negative. Negative times a negative, which is a positive, plus 5. Like terms, this guy and this guy. 15x minus 8x is 7x. Positive 1 and positive 5 is positive 6. So how many more tickets does he need? He needs this many tickets. It's pretty easy to find the perimeter now, so just understand what perimeter means. We have to add all 3 sides, right? This plus this plus this. Likewise here, so let's do the first one. It's x plus 3 minus 2x plus that side plus 7 plus y. Then remove the parentheses. Now combine like terms. X and negative 2x is negative x, or negative 1x. And then I'm going to do plus y. And 3 plus 7 is 10. So that's my answer. I'll make it better, which is negative x plus y plus 10. That should be my prettier answer. It's a square, so for the square, this is 4z plus 3. This is 4z plus 3, right? They're all the same. So let's take a shortcut here. So the perimeter would be this plus this plus this plus this, right? We can write 4z plus 3 plus 4z plus 3 plus 4z plus 3 plus 4z plus 3. Or you can just do 4 times 4z plus 3. I think this is easier, right? So using this tree property, 4 times 4 is 16z, and then 4 times 3 is plus 12. So your final answer is this. Much easier than adding this plus this plus this plus this, right? Same thing here. We're going to add all these. So I'm going to start here. Let's get 2a squared plus 3ab plus, you know what? I'm going to, now, it's 3ab plus 4a squared plus 3b squared plus 6b squared minus 5ab. So I've got the parentheses, right? Right, the parentheses here and here. Now if I put a 1 over here, right, and do the tree properly, everything is going to come out. So eventually I get this much. So I'll just take a shortcut because I can. And I'm going to combine like terms. So a squared, is there anybody a squared? There's one right here. 2a squared plus 4a squared is 6a squared. Next, I'm going to do the b's. There's a b squared and a b squared. So plus 3 and plus 6, so plus 9b squared. And then do I have a 3ab? There's a 3ab here and a 3ab here. So 3ab minus 5ab is 2ab. And that's my preliminary. So then this one here, again, we can add all these. So it's 3x minus 4 plus 3x minus 4. Oops. Plus 7 minus 2x plus 7. Oh, plus 7 minus 2x and then plus 5x plus 5. You can definitely use the distributive property here and multiply this by 2. Okay, so I'm going to remove the parentheses. Let's just do it this long way. 3x minus 4 plus 3x minus 4 plus 7 minus 2x plus 7 minus 2x plus 5x plus 5. So this one's a long one. Combine like terms. 3x plus 3x plus minus 2x minus 2x plus 5x. So 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 minus 2 is 4. 4 minus 2 is 2. And 2 plus 5 is 7x. So that's 7x. The other ones. Negative 4. Negative 4 is negative 8. Negative 8 plus 7 is negative 1. Negative 1 plus 7 is positive 6. And 6 plus 5 is 11. So that's my final answer. Here, it's a rectangle, so we know this bottom is 7 plus 3x, and we know this is 5x minus 2. Let's do the distributive property for this one. So we're going to do 2 times 5x minus 2 plus 2 times 7 plus 3x, right? Because there's 2 of those. You could have just added them. And then we're going to do 10x minus 4 plus 14x plus 6x. Oh, no x there. Oh, sorry. 14 plus 6x. Combine like terms, all the x's is 10x, and the plus 6x is 16x. Negative 4 plus 14 is negative positive 10. So that's the preliminary for that. Triangle. You can do 3a minus b plus 3a minus b plus 3a minus b, or you can do 3 times a 3a minus b. Whichever one you choose. So this becomes 3 times 3 is 9a, and 3 times b is 3b. Final answer 9a minus 3b, which is the same thing. Area. So we're doing the area. So here's the rectangle, and I want to find the area. Find the area, we're asking how many. We're asking you to find the number of square units inside the shape, right? How many square units? So this one, it's base times height, right? Length times width. So we're going to do 5. So to find the area, I'm going to multiply one side, which is 5, times the other side, which is 3x minus 5y plus 6. That's going to give me 15x minus 25y plus 30. Area of a rectangle, again, it's the area of a rectangle. And the width is 7, and the length is 6x minus 7, so it doesn't matter. And then to find the area again, it's just one side times the other. So it's one side times the other. You're going to get 42x minus 49. Ah, oof, my foot. And this is a triangle. It's not a big deal. Oops. Ah, my foot's slipping. Okay, so now the triangle is a little bit rigid because its area is base times height divided by 2. So what's the base here? Well, so I'm going to substitute, right? So instead of b, I'm going to put 12 times the height. You know, the height is this, right? This is the height right here. And that's 5a plus 7b. We're going to take all that's divided by 2. Remember, a triangle is half of what? Half of a rectangle, right? So that's why we divide by 2. So over here, area. Now, before we start multiplying over here, can we simplify this? We can. We can simplify this 2 and the 12. So 2 divided by 2 is 1, and that 12. 2 divided by 2 is 6. So my expression ends up being 6 times 5a plus 7b. And that is what I'm going to work with. 6 times 5a is 30a. 6 times 7b is plus 42b. So the area of my triangle is represented like this. Not difficult, right? Again, another triangle problem. So it's a triangle, and let's draw it out. So the height is 8, and the base is 6y squared plus 5y minus 2. Again, base times height, area equals base times height divided by 2. So this one, the base is 6y squared plus 5y minus 2 times the height, which is 8, divided by 2. So the 8's on this side instead of this side. No big deal, right? Again, can you simplify before you multiply? Yeah, we can simplify this 2 and the 8, and that's going to become a 4. So now, remember, it's commutative property, right? So I can put the 4 in the front if you're more comfortable. So it's 4 times 6y squared plus 5y minus 2. If you do this trig property, right, you're actually going to get 24y squared plus 30y minus 8 after you do this trig property. Ugh, 4 more problems, okay? This one is a missing side, so if I add all these 3 sides, my total is 10a plus 3b plus 12. So this side plus this side plus this side, I know the total. But already I know 2 of them, so think about this. If I told you, oops, I'm charging my computer. If I told you, so let me erase this whole thing. Let me tell you that the perimeter is 20. And I told you this was 5, and I told you this was 7. Right, just for a second. Can you find the missing side? Yeah, you would say, oh, that's easy. I would do 20, I subtract the 5, and then I would subtract that 7, and I get that missing side. And we don't even have to do it, right? If this is 5 and 7, that's 12, and so these two would be 12, and 20 minus 12 would be 8, and you would tell me that the missing side is 8. Yes? Right, that's how you would work it. This is no different. So the total in this case is 10a plus 3b plus 12. We have to remove this side, we have to remove this side from that total. Whatever left over is going to be a missing side. So we're going to subtract 3a plus 8, and then we're going to subtract 5a plus b. And that's going to give us, and whatever is left over here is going to be a missing side. So let's do this. 10a plus 3b plus 12, and let's subtract, and then there's a 1 here. That's going to be negative 3a, negative 8, minus 5a, minus 1 here, sorry, forget. Now let's combine like terms. It's 10a is this a and this a. So 10a minus 3a is 7a. 7a minus 5a is 2a. So that's going to give me 2a. B's. I have a 3b, and this is minus b here. 3b minus b is positive 2b. And then 12 minus 8 is going to be 4, positive 4. So the missing side is this, or this is the missing side. Okay. A triangle has, so this one is a same thing, right? Triangle. So you can draw your triangle. You can say that has, this is 5x plus y, this is 7 plus x. This is the side we don't know. But like I told you in the other problem, if this was 10, this was 2, and this was 3, and I asked you what's that missing side over here, so you have a triangle where this was 3, this was 2, this was 3, and I told you the total perimeter is 10. You would do 10 minus 2, and then minus 3, and you would get your missing 5, right? You do 10 minus 2 minus 3, and that gives you that 5, your missing side. But this is exactly the way I want you to approach, but with an algebraic expression. So your total is 7x minus 2y plus 15. We're going to subtract this side, minus 7 plus x, and then we're going to subtract the other side, minus 5x plus y, but we need that parentheses. So we're subtracting those two terms and those two terms. 7x minus 2y plus 15. Remember, there's a 1 here, minus 7, minus x, minus 5x, and again, put a 1 in there and do the distributive property, and then negative and positive is a negative 1. Combine like terms, 7x with this is an x, yes, minus x minus 5x. 7x minus 1x is 6x. 6x minus 5x is 1x, or just x. The y's negative 2y, and negative y is negative 3y. Be very careful. And then 15 minus 7, that's the easy one, plus 8. So that missing side is x minus 3y plus 8. We want the area of find it for a rectangle. What is the width of the rectangle? Okay. So again, we have the perimeter. So again, think about this. I want to change this. I want to change this question. So pretend this was 4. And I told you that the perimeter was 20. Can you find the missing width here? How would you do this? Well, first of all, if that's 4, we know that this is 4, right? So you would do, well, the total is 20, right? The total perimeter is 20. You would do 20 minus 4, this 4, minus 4, which is this other 4. So 20 minus 4 is 16. 16 minus 4, you would say that's 12. So now you have 12, and 12 represents this side and that side. So 12 is representing two sides, and then you would do 12 divided by 2, and you would tell me that this is 6 and that's 6. Well, you can always double check. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 plus 6 is 16. 16 plus 4 is 20 again. Isn't that what we wanted? That's exactly what we wanted. So let's do that with expressions. So here's a rectangle. That's 3x plus 4. So we know this is 3x plus 4. We know the total, the perimeter, the total perimeter is 10x plus 18. So we have to do 10x plus 18. We're going to subtract minus, right? We have to take that guy out. And we have to subtract the other side out too. So let's do that. 10x plus 18 minus 3x minus 4 minus 3x minus 4. Remember, I'm doing this straight properly, right? Negative times a positive, negative times a positive, and that's what comes out. Combine like terms. 10x minus 3x is 7x. 7x minus 3x is 4x. 18 minus 4 is 14, and 14 minus 4 is 10. I get positive 10. So my answer is 4x plus 10, but I have to divide 4x by 4x. This I have to divide by 2, because there's one side and the other side. So if the way I would like you to divide this, right, so we're going to divide 4x plus 10 divided by 2. So if you were to write this, I want you to go 4x divided by 2 plus 10 divided by 2. You're going to divide both terms by 2. What's 4x over 2? It's 2, right? Because this becomes 2x. And what's 10 over 2? 5. So this side is 2x plus 5, and this side is 2x plus 5. Same thing. So we have a rectangle. And this is 3x squared plus 4x. This is 3x squared plus 4x. I want to know what this is, and I want to know what that is. So we get the total. I'm going to subtract this guy. I'm going to subtract this guy. So we're going to get 8x squared plus 10x minus 6, and then we're going to subtract minus 3x squared minus 4x minus 3x squared minus 4x, right? I got to remember, there's a 1 here. I'm doing this through properly. There's a 1 here. I'm doing this through properly. That's how I'm getting my answers here. Now let's combine like terms. 8x squared minus 3x squared is 5x squared. 5x squared minus 3x squared gives me 2x squared. Then I have a 10x minus 4x is 6x. 6x minus 4x is 2x plus 2x. And then we have a minus 6 here all by itself. That's what's left over. But again, remember, I have two sides. I have this side and this side. So I have to divide everybody by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. Divide by 2. If I divide by 2, this becomes x squared. This becomes x. And 6 minus 2 becomes 3. So that means that this side over here is x squared plus x minus 3. And this one is x squared plus x minus 3. You can always double check and add everything, and you should get 8x plus 10x minus 6. And if you do, you know it right. Now, this one is not that. Yeah, so here a square. Remember what a square is? A square is a polygon where all the sides are the same, right? So if I add this side plus this side plus this side plus this side, so we're saying that this plus this plus this plus this equals 32ab minus 12. Now, think about this. Let me erase this for a second. I told you that the perimeter was 20. And I asked you, what is the side, the length of each of these sides? Well, you know they're all the same, so you can just divide by 4. And you'll say, that's easy. That's 5. That's 5. That's 5. And that's 5, right? Because it's a rectangle. So we're going to do the same thing. So, but instead of that, we have an expression. We're going to take this expression, 32ab minus 12, and we're going to divide that by 4. We're going to divide this guy by 4, and divide this by 4. We're going to divide the whole thing by 4. Well, let's simplify. 32 over 4 is 8, AB, right? I can simplify this like this. And 12 over 4 is just 3. So this side is 8AB minus 3. This side is 8AB minus 3. This side is 8AB minus 3. And this side is 8AB minus 3. Well, if you don't believe me, let's add them. Well, if I were to combine like terms, I would add all these sides, right? So the like terms, 8AB plus 8AB plus 8AB plus 8AB gives me 32AB. I'm adding those. And then negative 3 plus negative 3 plus negative 3 plus negative 3 will be negative 12. And guess what? That is what the perimeter is anyway, right? Okay, that's it.